Hello again. So this is my Osmiomancy gloves build, and it's one of the builds that I took into Root of Nightmares day one. Uh, we had a bit of trouble with some ads, and I feel that this build is really good for just keeping the fire off you a little bit, freezing those ads, controlling them, and many people utilize Osmiomancy with the Bleak Watcher, but we're not going to do that. We are going to stick with the Cold Snap. I like the Cold Snap a lot, and instantly freezing something, uh, in my opinion, is better than slowing them. But I do have a build that utilizes Bleak Watcher as well with the Osmiomancy gloves. But with the Osmiomancy gloves, your Cold Snaps actually recharge quicker if you do get a direct hit. So hopefully we have near infinite uptime on our Cold Snap grenades. So what I'll do, I'll show you what it can do, and I'm using this with Aegis Scepter because it plays into our mods and aspects quite well. I'll show you those after, but here, if we quickly nip into this lost sector, and we'll have a little go. So as you can see, we've got our cold snap up. We've had it up pretty much all the time. And all we're doing is chucking grenades, keeping that firepower off us. And just freezing everything. So I've got 2 grenades up at the minute. Just keeping everything under control. And there we go. And the good thing about using Aegis Scepter and this build, we're getting our super relatively quickly, even though my intellect isn't that high. Hopefully I can show you that we can just put out a little bit of damage on Carl with Aegis Scepter as well. I think Carl has about 400k health, and it goes down like nothing. Right. This build I really do enjoy. Now I'll show you what aspects and fragments I've got. So like I said, we're using it with Aegis Scepter. Final blows with Aegis Scepter slows nearby targets, which you can also freeze them as well. You get this little area around the target that you kill that ends up slowing and then freezing other ads. So on our helmet, we've got Harmonic Siphon ×2. Getting rapid kills with your Aegis Scepter is easy, even on higher level targets. So we want to spawn those orbs of power. I do have Special Ammo Finder on. Sometimes I don't use it. Sometimes I like to go with hands-on, because you can get easy melee kills with freezing targets, which also feeds into your super a little bit quicker. So then, if you do have a major boss or something like that, hopefully you can melt them down a little bit quicker with Aegis Scepter. But yeah, Harmonic Siphon just to get those orbs. On my gloves, I've got double grenade kickstart. This is just in case that we don't get our grenades back that quick. This is there to help just hopefully maintain the fact that we have grenades all the time. Fastball doesn't have to be. I do. As I said in my last video, just looking for fastball. Can't throw you out it. We don't use firepower here because our grenades aren't necessarily getting the kills. The shatter damage doesn't count as getting the kills, so we don't use firepower here to increase the amount of orbs that we can get. But it can be swapped for any of the others. But yeah, fastball, but double grenade kickstart for definite, just so then we can have maximum uptime on our cold snaps. On our chest piece, I've got charged up. We do run through our armor charges pretty quick. The amount of grenades that we can throw, we just end up getting rid of our stacks to keep our cold snap up as often as we can. So having the extra armor charge will help with basically feeding into your grenade kickstart more. Oh, bloody hell. Grenade kickstart more, and then yeah, we can keep our cold snap up, which is what our aim is. And then any resistant mods that you want. On our legs, I do have one stasis surge just for our Aegis Scepter. It's pretty good, especially against mages. Champions, it's great, but we don't necessarily need to have it. I mean, I use Aegis Scepter more for helping control those adds rather than I do for damage. But if you are leaning into using it as a damaging weapon, then you can put on Stasis Weapon Surge. You can even put 2 on for that 17% increase, but I've just got the 1 on for the moment. Absolution reduces all ability cooldowns each time you pick up an orb of power. Again, throwing your grenades, getting the kills, getting the orbs, just getting all your abilities back is better. Also gives you, if I remember rightly, gives you super back as well, so you can feed into your Aegis Scepter overpowered state a little bit quicker. And I've got an innovation on as well, reduces grenade cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. We can go triple innovation here, mix and match. If you're in a little bit harder content, you might want to pick better already or recuperation, just so you got that little bit of extra survivability. But hopefully, with the amount of freezing that we're doing, we won't need that. So I've gone for getting my abilities back a little bit quicker, and then a little bit of damage. And finally, on my bonds, Reaper. So we're going to get our class ability back quickly, and Reaper, popping your rift and then getting a kill, spawns an orb. So it's just another way to get an orb to feed into our abilities. And then Double Bomber, because we're getting our rift back quickly as well. Double Bomber seems like a great pick just to feed back into getting our cold snaps back quick. If I show you my aspects and fragments, so like I said, I'm not using Bleak Watcher. I've gone for Glacial Harvest, so freezing targets create stasis shards around them. Higher competence spawn more shards. This is just so we can get our melee back quicker as well. Nothing feeds into our melee too much, but it just helps us get it back. I like it better than Frost Pulse, and we're not using it for Bleak Watcher. And then Ice Flare Bolts. Now this is one of the best aspects. So shattering a frozen target spawns Seeker that track and freeze other targets. So this is effectively a cold snap built into your actual stasis build. It's basically like you're running not just double cold snaps, but triple cold snaps, because as soon as you freeze something and then kill it, shatter it, it's going to spawn a Seeker that then travels out to another target. It is really good and really complements this build. As for my fragments, so we've got Whisper of Conduction. So we're making our shards. This one can be swapped for anything else, really. It's one that I've gone with because I'm running around getting the orbs, I'm running around getting shards. I'd rather them just come to me, to be honest. But it can be swapped for a couple of other bits. So you've got like this one, Whisper of Change. So while you're near frozen targets, you take reduced damage. So being near, because we're freezing that many things, you'll always have a frozen target around you. So taking the reduced damage is a good thing. But I've opted to go with Whisper of Conduction for the time being. Whisper of Refraction, defeating slowed or frozen targets grants class ability energy. This is a must. We are killing frozen targets all the time. We are getting our class ability back really quickly, along with our grenades. Same with Whisper of Torment, same thing. If we take damage, then we get our grenade back. Simple as that. And Whisper of Bonds, so defeating frozen targets grants you super energy. Now, there are a lot of frozen targets that we will be killing, so getting our super back is really good, which also then feeds back into our Aegis Scepter, using it in its overcharge mode. more often than not. So this is pretty much the build. I've gone with a demolitionist auto rifle just to top off any grenade that we might not have, and then Wendigo, because we are making quite a lot of orbs of light. So Wendigo and Aegis Scepter shouldn't be too much of a problem when you're coming against higher health targets. You should hopefully blitz them down quite easily. So obviously the God roll with Spike, Auto and Explosive. This is what you want to be using really, but 100% Aegis Scepter. But yeah, everything just feeds back into our grenades, which in turn feeds into our class, which in turn feeds into our super. Everything is always doing something to complement something else. And we have our grenades up all the time. It's really good for just keeping the ads off you. You know, having that reprieve of 5 seconds or so of not being shot at, especially when you're in harder content. It's great. And then with the ice flare bolts, like I said, it's like having an extra cold snap grenade. An extra cold snap grenade because we've got Osmiomancy gloves. But yeah, this is my cold snap builds. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you try it out. Cheers.